Alex from Los Angeles.
Okay, Alex, weigh in. Please
Welcome,
do.
Alex.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. Good morning. And yeah, just want to share. I mean, I heard the list you shared at the beginning. I guess I have kind of a different list because at the top of my list of what I look for in a woman is definitely playfulness. You know, for me, it's about character because there's so much seriousness in the world. When there's playfulness, it brings out the energy of that relationship. So playfulness and character is definitely at the top of my list.
So when you say playfulness, what I think I'm hearing is you mean flexibility instead of rigid roles and stuff like that. She's flexible. In other words, she's willing to have fun. She's willing to not take things too seriously, and she's willing to adapt. Say if you want to go to a new restaurant. You know, a lot of women are really particular about what they want to eat, but she's willing to take it, going out on an adventure, and whether the food is good, bad, or indifferent, said, okay, we had a good time because we tried something new. Is that what you mean by playfulness?
Yeah, that could be a way, but what I mean is like when you're together, you don't take things seriously. You laugh. You might walk into the room with like a silly laugh or a smile on your face, or you laugh about the small things. You just have fun doing crazy, stupid things, and kind of have a playful attitude towards life because life is serious. You don't want to be in a relationship with someone who's serious. You want to have playfulness in that relationship because it makes it a lot easier and flow a lot better.
Okay.
And yeah. And then one of the other things I had at the top of my list was to help you grow. And I think that goes for both men and women. You want to be in a relationship with someone who helps you grow, who helps you become a better man, vice versa as well, because it's in relationships, it has to be both ways. But someone who you can grow with is definitely also at the top of my list. Mm-hmm. And of course, go ahead.
So what do you mean when you say grow with? What does that mean?
Well, like a woman who pushes you to be a better version or a better man, a better version of yourself, a better man, and vice versa. The man should help the woman to think differently, think greater, and I think that should be both ways. If you're looking to grow in a relationship, a relationship is something that grows. It shouldn't be something stagnant. So I think you should grow.
Yeah. Well, that's a little deeper because I was just talking to somebody and about the type of woman certain men actually need, and by socioeconomic levels. But it's interesting. But go ahead. What else is on your list?
We can talk about it. All right, I'll go ahead, brother. The next one I think is important. Again, this flows both ways, but independent. A man wants a woman who's independent, meaning she has things going on. She doesn't necessarily not need a man to help her out. Of course, the man should help, but she has things going on. She's working on her passion, her projects, her things in life, and the guy should as well. A woman doesn't want a guy who's sitting around doing nothing, just waiting for her and everything like that. So a woman who's independent, and that ties in kind of with the next thing, which is a woman who's confident and has self-worth. And once again, it flows both ways. I've been around women who don't value themselves or see self-worth in themselves. You're not attracted to that because they don't see value or self-worth in themselves. And I think that's very important in a relationship to know your worth and have confidence with that. And then I probably got like two more off the top of my head, but
no, go ahead because I'm reading you, and in fact, I was actually talking with a professor friend of mine. We're actually talking about this and the type of women according to the type of man, and basically what he wanted was basically the opposite of what you want. But
well, I'm giving you.
No, I can tell because you're either a corporate guy, a high-level corporate guy, or an entrepreneur, right?
I am an entrepreneur. Yes, you're good. Yeah, well, I'm giving you the opposite perspective of it. You see, so I'm helping you balance it out.
I'll tell you why. Your last two, I actually tell you why. I actually give you the reason. Go ahead. Give me your last two. Two more.
Yeah. Well, it sounds kind of cheesy, but a best friend, because obviously you're going to be in a relationship with someone. You want someone who
as a
who
partner.
you could share who you can trust, who you can share your thoughts with, who you can have as a best friend. And then the next one, which is important. Yeah, exactly. Next one, sexual attraction and amazing sex. So, of course, going back to the very first one that you shared with.
Which is probably number one, which gets you into the relationship in the first place. That's number one.
Well, no, because I've been around women who are very attractive and everything, but their character is dead, and you don't. I personally don't want to be with them.
All right, fess up, man. Would you take 1 to 10? Would you take a 4 if she had, or 3 or 4 if she had everything, or would she have to be at least a 6?
No, well, for me, it's more about energy than anything. Character plays a great role.
Would you take
a 4? So what's the answer? Would you take a 4?
Well,
no.
Yeah, again, physical attraction does play a role, but I have in the past I have gone after a woman who was maybe a 5 or so because her energy and her playfulness was so much. So probably yes.
No, you wouldn't take a 4. In other words, no. But the thing is, okay, I'll actually explain why. Okay, this is something we're talking about, and this is something that I probably need to put in a book because it comes up all the time. Okay, I call the octane levels for women, right? Which is socioeconomic. Has nothing to do with looks, has nothing to do with character. This is just simply socioeconomic. And these things, there's if you think about the grade of gasoline, okay, 85 is the lowest level because it's mixed. It doesn't have a lot of octane in it. So that's your lowest level, which is what they call, some people call them ratchet. Some people call them, hood chicks or something like that. That's the lowest level. Okay. The next level up is, of course, 87, which is normal, which is the working class girl, which is where your working class wives come from. Okay, so if you want a homemaker, normally that's going to be your 87s, which is your homemaker, your working class wife, your middle class woman. The 89s are the educated women that are in between. In other words, they could go either way. They're educated. They have a degree, and either they either want to advance or they want to stay where they are and go back down to an 87. Those are your 89s. They're educated, but they haven't crossed over to what I call which is the 92 octane, which is the corporate girl. Now you like 92 octane girls, okay? Basically, 92 octane women are really not considered. You're not really looking for a wife. You're looking for a partner. So she's fun. She's funny. She's
well, a wife could be that too.
Well, I'm saying if you're going to marry her,
no, he's basically saying that you're looking for someone that you can grow with.
You grow with.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
In other words, she's gonna push you. She's gonna help you with your business. She's gonna help you with ideas. She's gonna help you with all this kind of stuff, right? Basically, she's your partner. She's your equal because you're an entrepreneur. You need something every now and then you need a woman to put a battery in your back. And sometimes vice versa, because you're trying to push forward, you're trying to excel, you're trying to make more money, make more business, you try to be a power couple. That's your 92 octanes. And the last octane is the 100, which is the 100 octane, which I call the baller girl. Now, the baller girl is probably self-explanatory. In other words, if you're not making at least 7 figures or more, you can't put her on a jet and fly her in and out, or put her on a private jet. That's not your girl. Your baller girl is basically, she's no less than an 8. She's probably like a 9 or 10. These are the best of the best IG models, your best of the best movie stars, the basketball wives, those kind of folks where they're absolutely gorgeous. You actually find a lot of your 100 octane chicks out in front of the say the will call at say a football game or a basketball arena or something like that, because those are the athletes' girlfriends, those are the millionaires' girlfriends, those are the masters of the universe girlfriends. And sometimes if they're on the dark side, high-level drug dealer that has a hell of a lot of money, those are the 100 octanes. So basically, as you start talking, I said,
so those have to look good all the time.
Well, because that's their stock and trade, okay? They have to look all the time because they're willing to live that lifestyle. They're willing, they kind of bend on the man cheating because he's the uber alpha male, or he's the uber master of the universe. So they have to be loose with that. There's a lot of things they have to accept. But the thing is, in return, they get the fabulous jet setting lifestyle. So basically, as soon as you said, as soon as you started describing the first three things, okay, he needs a 92 octane girl. Whereas my professor, he's a PhD, but the thing is, he needs a stable woman for house. In other words, he doesn't want her to push him. He doesn't want her to be involved in his business. He doesn't want her to looking over his shoulder or something like that. What he wants is a stable woman to support him, to be at home with his kids, to be at home with him. So when he comes home, he can leave all that behind and deal with her.
So what is she, 88?
She's actually an 89.
Octane?
She's dropped out to an 87. That's an 87. 89s are in between.
Okay.
Yeah, 89s are the most difficult because they're right in the middle. But that's as soon as become, well, it's funny because he has a PhD, he's a tenured professor. He attracts a lot of what you call what my man likes, which is the 92 octanes. They like to push. They want to be a power couple, that kind of stuff. They want to make $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year, that kind of stuff. And he just wants a stable lifestyle because he has a son. He just wants a woman to actually be stable and run his house, which is boring 92 octane. Which is interesting, but I'm saying that's an aside. That's free. So if that's free game. So call Dr. Rosie and see if you can find a service for her because she has lots of things and services. So if you want to reward the show, this is I'm probably gonna have to put it to the book because people already want to talk about this. But anyway, but I'm saying that's the kind of woman that he wants. So like there's different levels for different guys, and we haven't even talked about the levels. But yeah.
Well, I like your analogy of the gas and the woman. Interesting way to put it.
He's so funny.
I came up with it because I needed to, because I noticed the difference in my life with the women that I dated, right? So
what's yours? What's your octane level, Keith?
What's my octane? Ooh, my octane level is more of an 89, which is flexible. She's flexible. She can either go either way, which is an 89, which is most of the women that I meet, they're either 87 or 89.
So looking at these octane levels, it's a little different from men, huh? If a woman's looking for a man, what octane level would he be on? I mean, you looking for?
It's not with octane levels for men. In fact, I had to map this out because women demanded I had to have octane levels for men. There's not 5 because there's really no 89 for men because men is based on wages. Okay, so you really have 4. You do have the what we call the hood guys, the 85s. You have not the bad boys. No, you have to be, not all the hood guys are bad boys. You have what we call the Pookie and Ray Rays, the what we call the homosexuals that actually sleep on couches. The failed guys that can't get a job. Those are the hood guys. The bad boys. You have bad boys in all the levels. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
You have bad boys in all levels. But I'm saying this is just socioeconomic. And then next level up is the vast majority of guys are the 87, which is working class, and because it's not necessarily based on it's more based on money than it is education. How much money can a guy earn? If a guy can earn if a guy is an 87, he can earn 20,000. He's a certain level of guy. He's probably going to be like
50,000 annual guy.
Like a guy with 40,000 and up, I would say 40,000 for 87, 40,000 to like 120 to 120,000 because those are the blue collar working class guys. Okay. Okay. The 92s the 92s for guys is probably the corporate guys. So those are guys who probably earn like 80,000 to up to say like $1 million. Those are the 92s. Okay. So like my man, he's a 92. He's an entrepreneur, but he hasn't crossed over to what they call the masters of the universe. He hasn't, he's not like a high, a 7-figure guy. I'm just assuming he's not. He's not like quite a 7-figure guy because if he was like 7 figures or like $1 million a year or $5 million a year, then he would go into the baller class. Then he'd have a completely different kind of woman. He wouldn't need a woman to actually give him ideas or anything like that. No, I need a woman that's beautiful, that's on my arm, that's eye candy, that I can that can actually basically actually interface with the other level of people at that level. So there's only four levels for guys.
For guys. Okay, I think we have someone else trying to call in too.
Mm-hmm. I don't see.
We have other callers calling in.
Is there any more? Okay, we got something on the board. I really
no, for me, just thank you for having me, and thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I mean, am I pretty close to describing you and the women that you want?
Yeah, I mean, it's not ever an exact list, but I think you did a pretty good job, and I like your comparison again with the gas levels, and yeah, so but again, everyone grows, so things change and things evolve. But so you can never put it exactly on paper, I feel, but it was a good comparison.
But I think
it's also mindset. It's also mindset.
Yeah, it was good comparison though.
I always say if a guy doesn't want to be driven, he doesn't need a 92 octane girl, because she's not going to be happy with him, because she's going to try to push him. And a lot of guys.
Oh yeah.
All right, okay. But I got something on the board that says I really